Just days before Matt's 64th birthday, police sirens echoed down a quiet Oregon road. Caryn's new husband, a man named David Langford, was being led away in handcuffs. Charges: financial fraud, property deception, and obstruction. At first, Matt thought it was a mistake. How could the man Caryn married after him be involved in such a thing? But when investigators showed Matt the paperwork, the same land deeds Caryn had helped transfer years ago, his world started to collapse. Because one of those properties was his. Yes, one of the plots of land that Matt believed he still owned had somehow been signed over to a holding company. And that company's managing partner was Caryn's new husband. To understand how things reached this point, we have to go back 2 years. After Matt and Caryn ended their long relationship, both promised to move forward peacefully. Matt was focused on rebuilding RolofF Farms, turning it into a legacy for his kids. Caryn, on the other hand, said she needed a fresh start. She disappeared from the public eye for months. When she returned, she wasn't alone. Caryn was smiling again, standing beside a man no one had ever seen before, a businessman, charming and wealthy, who promised to make her feel alive again. Matt congratulated her in public interviews. He said, "If she's happy, I'm happy." But privately, those who knew him say his heart was broken. What no one realized was that Caryn had quietly kept access to several of Matt's old business documents. She wasn't stealing, not yet, but she was studying. Property maps, investment records, expansion plans. She knew how valuable that land was, and she knew how much Matt loved it. So when her new husband proposed a new business opportunity, a joint development project, Caryn didn't hesitate. She told him everything. And that was the beginning of a slow, calculated plan. A plan that would end with Matt losing more than just land. He would lose trust, reputation, and peace. When Caryn's husband was arrested, news outlets were quick to connect the dots. The local press called it the RolofF farm scandal. Rumors spread faster than facts. Some claimed Matt had been complicit. Others said he was a victim of Caryn's manipulative charm. Fans flooded social media with mixed reactions: anger, sympathy, confusion. The once beloved RolofF name was now trending for all the wrong reasons. Sources close to Matt described him as devastated. He stopped appearing at public events. He turned off his phone for weeks. One longtime friend said he felt betrayed twice, first emotionally, then financially. And for a man who had built everything with his own 2 hands, that betrayal cut deep. Matt's family tried to intervene. His children urged him to let the lawyers handle it, but Matt couldn't. He needed answers. So he went to see Caryn. In a quiet cafe just outside Hillsborough, Matt waited. When Caryn finally walked in, the tension was thick enough to choke on. Matt didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He simply said, "Tell me the truth, Caryn. Did you know?" Caryn paused for a long time. Then she whispered, "I didn't think it would go this far." That one sentence, that single moment, broke him. Because it meant she did know, and she let it happen anyway. From that day forward, everything changed. Matt began the painful process of reclaiming his life. But every legal meeting, every public statement was a reminder of what he'd lost. Meanwhile, Caryn's new husband faced trial, and Caryn herself became the center of a media storm she couldn't escape. Some people defended her, saying she was manipulated too. Others believed she was the mastermind. But one thing was certain: the woman who once promised Matt peace had brought only destruction. The story of Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler was never supposed to end this way. They were once partners, lovers, friends. But sometimes the past doesn't just haunt you, it consumes you. Caryn's world, built on ambition and regret, started to crumble the moment truth came out. Matt's world, built on trust and hard work, was shattered by the very person he once called his future. And as police cars rolled away that day, carrying Caryn's new husband into custody, Matt stood in silence, watching everything he'd once loved disappear behind flashing lights. Hey everyone, welcome back. Oh boy, do I have some explosive updates for you today. If you've been following the saga of Caryn and Matt RolofF, you already know it's been nothing short of a roller coaster, right? But hold on tight, because today we're diving into the ending part of this shocking drama. Yes, the part where things take a turn that nobody saw coming. Now, before we get started, I just need to ask, have you been keeping up with Caryn's new husband? Oh yes, the man who stepped into the RolofF family story like a complete storm. And guess what? Things took a turn that completely shook Matt RolofF's world, and honestly, fans are still talking about it. So here's the scene. Imagine being in Matt's shoes for a second. You've had your life laid out in front of cameras, fans know your every move, your family's life is practically public property, and suddenly, bam, there's a huge twist that nobody saw coming. That twist? Caryn's new husband being arrested. Yes, you heard me right, arrested. And the shockwaves didn't just ripple through the family, they hit Matt RolofF directly, altering his life in ways that are almost too dramatic to even describe. And let's pause for a moment. I want you to really picture it. Matt RolofF, a man who's been through a lot, having to deal with the public fallout of someone entering his family circle and turning everything upside down. The betrayal, the shock, the absolute chaos, it's the kind of thing that makes reality TV fans glued to their screens for hours. Now, I know you're wondering, what actually happened? How did it all unravel? Let me break it down for you. See, Caryn's new husband wasn't just any random guy. He was someone who somehow gained the trust of the family, and just like that, things seemed normal. But behind closed doors, apparently things were far from normal. Legal troubles started bubbling up, rumors started flying, and the ultimate revelation, his arrest. And trust me, it wasn't just a small, run-of-the-mill arrest. This was big, serious, and the kind of news that makes headlines scream. And, of course, Matt had to face it all. Imagine the press, the cameras, the fans on social media, and then the family. Oh yes, the family. Everyone's reactions were intense, shock, disbelief. Some were angry, some confused, and some, well, they were just speechless. And Matt, he had to process all of that while still trying to keep his composure in front of cameras. But here's the thing, Matt is a fighter. He's resilient. And even though the situation could have completely destroyed him, he found a way to navigate it. He faced the press, he addressed the fans, and he spoke out about the situation, making sure his side of the story was clear. And you could see the determination in his eyes. He wasn't going to let this drama define him. Not now, not ever. And let's not forget the social media explosion. Oh my goodness, fans did not hold back. Comments, tweets, posts, people were divided. Some were furious at Caryn, some were shocked by the husband's arrest, and some were just trying to make sense of the chaos. And honestly, it became a full-blown online frenzy. And if you're like me, you probably spent hours scrolling, reading every single comment just to see what everyone was saying. Now, here's a part that's truly heartbreaking. Matt RolofF's life, as he knew it, was shaken. We're talking emotional moments, private family tensions being exposed, relationships being tested, and through it all, the cameras caught it all. Yes, reality TV can be dramatic, but this was real life hitting hard. And I want to talk about Caryn for a second. She's been a controversial figure, no doubt about it. And this new chapter, with her husband being arrested, it only added fuel to the fire. The questions that fans have been asking, why didn't anyone see this coming? How did this happen? Well, some answers are still unfolding, but one thing's clear. Caryn's decisions had a ripple effect, and Matt Roloff had to face the consequences head on. Now, I want to take a moment to reflect, because in all this chaos, there's a lesson about resilience, about facing unexpected challenges, and about how public scrutiny can make personal struggles even harder. Matt's response was a mix of courage, patience, and raw emotion, and watching him navigate this, fans couldn't help but feel a connection. You could feel his pain, his frustration, and also his strength. It was real, unfiltered, and it made this entire saga unforgettable. And here's where it gets even more intense. The ending of this chapter wasn't just about the arrest. It was about consequences, about decisions, and about moving forward. Matt had to evaluate what mattered most: his family, his peace, and his own sanity. And fans saw a side of him that was rarely captured, a man who was determined to protect his family no matter what obstacles came his way. And oh, the reactions. I have to share some of them with you because they were priceless. People were saying things like, "I can't believe this is happening," and "Poor Matt, he didn't deserve this." And of course, some had their own theories about what might happen next. And honestly, it became a discussion that transcended just reality TV. It became a conversation about trust, family, and the chaos that can come when things go off the rails. Now, if you think it ended there, think again, because this is reality TV, folks, and just when you think you've seen it all, another twist comes along. And the twist here wasn't just a legal trouble, it was the emotional fallout, the family dynamics shifting, and the questions about who could be trusted. And watching Matt Roloff navigate all of this was truly a masterclass in handling public drama with dignity, even when your world is falling apart. So where do we go from here? Well, for Matt, it's about rebuilding, focusing on what truly matters, and learning from the experience. For Caryn and her new husband, well, the story is still evolving and fans are watching closely. And for all of us, it's a reminder that even in the world of reality TV, real life can hit harder than any scripted drama. And that, my friends, brings us to the closing thoughts on this intense saga. Matt Roloff faced betrayal, shock, and chaos, but he did it with resilience. Caryn's choices created ripples that affected everyone, and the arrest of her new husband left fans speechless. But through it all, one thing remains clear. Life throws curveballs, but how you handle them defines you. And Matt, he showed us what strength really looks like. So that's the ending part of this dramatic chapter. And I have to say, if you thought reality TV couldn't get any more dramatic, think again. Because this story, it's a reminder that truth can be stranger than fiction, and real-life drama can leave us all stunned. Thank you for sticking with me through this breakdown, and don't forget, keep your eyes on the RolofF family saga, because if history has taught us anything, there are always more twists just around the corner. And of course, I'll be right here bringing you every update, every shocking revelation, and every jaw-dropping moment. Stay tuned, and I promise the drama is not over yet.